Good morning. Welcome to the Sentinel Newsroom. I'm Editor Bill Wilson. Our guest today is Rochester Mayor Mark Smiley. Mr. Smiley's been in office for a little over a year and a half now and was kind enough to share part of his morning today with Sentinel readers. Without further ado, Mayor, what is your email address and telephone number so Sentinel subscribers can keep in touch?
Okay, my telephone number is 574-223-4555, and my email address is mayor@rochester.in.us.
Please give us a quick sketch of what you expect as far as the federal stimulus package dollars and the garage building for Fulton County Transpo. When might it start? How long might it take? And what will be in the building?
Well, the good news is we've been approved now, and we've got the City Council and the County Council working together to get the lease done. Greg Heller is right now putting together a lease to get this started. NDOT is pretty much going to dictate when this starts, so it's probably pretty much, hopefully we might break ground this year, but there's no guarantee. Everything is contingent upon NDOT's putting it together. They have their own consulting firm and engineering firm to look at our plans once we get it there, so everything's in the preliminary stage right now.
What will be in the building exactly?
What will be in the building is what we plan to do is we plan to attach it to the existing garage, and we're going to have a dispatch area in the garage, but it's going to be attached to the existing building. Excuse me, let's go back that way. And then that way the people can walk from one building and they don't really have to leave and go outside. And there'll also be like a computer lab room in there for the people to use that as well. And we will have an area there to house the 12 vehicles that we have now. And we also will have like a wash area or a little mechanics room there. And so the majority of that new addition will not probably be heated, but the parts that they will use for dispatch in the computer room and the area where they'll be washing vehicles and doing minor mechanical work as well, then that'll be heated.
Are you satisfied with the condition of the new fire station now?
The new fire station is really, it's a super asset to the community. If you have not been out there, I advise everybody to go out there and take a tour of the building. This is a first-class fire station for Rochester, Indiana, and the previous administration, they thought enough forefront in the past to have it paid for, so we do not have a bond with it, so that is really a great tool to this day because it opens up more avenues to do things with the city's monies today.
So all the construction woes are pretty much behind us and we're moving on.
Yes, it's the first year we pretty much buttoned everything up. There was just like a few things didn't go the way it should have gone maybe, but there's always issues with a contracting building of that size. It was, what was it, about $2 million project, so with the people involved, we got it through, and the firemen did a lot extra work on their own to save money, and it's just a beautiful asset to the community.
Speaking of fires, what are your thoughts on the aftermath of the Main Street fire that gutted the restaurant and damaged the restaurant next door, the Main Street Grill? Does City Hall have a role in a situation like that? And if so, what is it?
Actually, the city, the role the city can play if it was a hazard, if the building was a hazard to the public, if it was going to collapse or if there was a safety issue, we could condemn that building. Right now, the building is structurally sound. It just needs to be renovated on the inside because of the smoke damage. Unfortunately, nobody stepped up to the plate to buy it. It is for sale right now. But in order for the city to condemn a building, it's got to be a hazard to one's public being around it.
Not enough to be an eyesore.
That, yeah, the cosmetics of it is, that's a tough call there. Hopefully, you know, there's nothing legal we can do just because somebody's opinion says it's an eyesore.
Please fill us in on curbside yard waste pickup. Where have we been and where are we going with that?
It's an ongoing project. We're never done. As soon as we pick up yard waste or sticks, it is brought right back out by the homeowners. It's a nice asset to the community that we get to do this a lot of people appreciate it, but it does take a lot of time to pick all this yard waste up and the limbs. And we were really behind on the leaves last year because of the weather. And one good thing is now that IDM is going to allow cities and towns to burn clean limbs and yard waste. So that's been a big asset, again, to a bonus to the city, because people don't realize that when we grind that brush out there, county and city, it costs $22,000 to bring that grinder tub in to grind it. We have to do this 2 or 3 times a year, and by the time we do that, and if we truck those chips out, we've got about an expense of about 60 grand a year going out just to remove and grind up chips.
But the spring cleaning pickup is kaput.
The spring cleanup, we decided to eliminate that. It just got out of hand. The reason it got out of hand is just, I think it just prolonged. It got longer every year. It started out to be a good deal, 2 weeks, but now it became 7 weeks, and we just couldn't keep up with it. We had a lot of people bringing stuff in and out of town, and then also some people would hoard their trash and put it out all at once, and we'd have dumpsters there. So the trash man will pick up anything that the spring cleanup was doing. So you know, and like everything, it just got abused. And if we were going to take 7 weeks out of the city street department's budget, we might as well just buy trash trucks and pick up trash all year long. And so we decided just to eliminate it this year and see how it goes. And we've had more compliments by stopping the service than not providing it.
What do you think should be done with the old fire station City Hall building? Should it be torn down for a green space, sold?
Well, at the last council meeting, we decided, the city council decided to, the 7 members voted to sell it. So at this point, legally we have to get 2 real estate appraisers to come in, and they do a joint appraisal, and then we have to put it up for sale and go by the statutes to liquidate an asset from the city. Greg Heller is working on that, but our first step is to put 2 appraisers together, and then they jointly come up with a price that they feel is comfortable and fair.
Are there any plans to improve street lighting along Southway 31 near Arborwood Apartments? Are you personally satisfied with the lighting there?
To tell you the truth, I will have to go out there and look at it. I haven't paid any attention how the lighting is. That's something that I can't really give you my comment on it, because I have to go out there and look at it. It's never been brought to my attention yet. So that's actually a city street there at Old 31 now, and then it turns into county. But that's something that was kind of, as we're talking and discussing that, Arbor Woods was put in, and now one thing that's going in the county and the city's favor, we have the interlocal agreement for the building and area plan commission. We merged with the county, and now the county oversees the city's building inspecting and everything. So we've got 2 inspectors with the area plan commission to enforce the Rochester city codes, and it's been working out really great. We don't have the expense. It kind of took away about $70,000–$80,000 out of the city budget for the county to do this interlocal agreement. And we still have our Rochester Board of Zoning Appeals, which will enforce or do a variance from our codes. And at this time, you know, you can't go backwards, but there was a lot of things there that kind of got overlooked. And one issue is sidewalks out there too. There's no sidewalks out there, and the lighting is probably one thing that we'd have been looking at that at the beginning. We could have enforced that and said, before you build here, you have to provide this.
How much does a street light cost?
Street lights, we pay Duke Energy for each light, and it seems to me each light is, don't hold me to it, but it seemed like around $1,500 a year. So well, they are expensive.
I'm here to tell you somebody's going to get clipped out there in the dark. I drive that often, and it gets pretty, you have to be very careful.
And that's something that we'll have to look at, and you know, this is the first of that. It's been brought to my attention.
Please respond to this statement. The days of Rochester's downtown as a commercial hub with hotels and five and dime stores are gone. The future of downtown Rochester is as a base for offices and service-oriented businesses. True or false?
To answer your question, I would say true.
Does it follow then that we need to make down